So this video is designed to help you if you're struggling with understanding Shakespeare. It's going to give you a review of a couple of the strategies we've talked about in class. And the first one of those is inverted syntax, which is just a fancy way of saying the order of the words. So Shakespeare often works in a different way than our current English operates. We use subject, verb, object. So who is doing what to whom? DeAndre ate the cake. So we can ask these questions. Who is the sentence about? DeAndre. What did DeAndre do? He ate. What did he eat? The cake. So Shakespeare and a lot of times rappers or poets will change the order of words because it helps them with a rhyme. It changes the effect or emphasis of the sentence. So if we take our same sentence here and we put it in a different order, it sounds more poetic or Shakespearean. So the cake DeAndre did eat. So we just moved the object to the front of the sentence. So DeAndre is still performing the verb here. Same thing here. You can move the verb to the front of the sentence. Ate the cake DeAndre did. But notice that we have to add additional words or change the tense of certain words in order for the sentence to still make sense. But again, it's still DeAndre eating that cake. So we want to make sure we're not just saying, well, the cake ate DeAndre, because that's a whole different sentence. And dang, what kind of cake is that? So take a second and read these two excerpts from poems. What stands out to you between our normal syntax, subject, verb, object, and the inverted version on the right? My hope is that you would notice the one on the right has a different tone. It has a different cadence. It has a different beat. It sounds more poetic than the one on the left. They both say the exact same thing. The meaning is the same, but the message, the way it is communicated, to you is different. So let's practice. So here's a famous line from Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. Whose woods these are, I think I know. So one strategy we can use is to put the sentence in our order. So subject, verb, object. So this sentence would become, I think I know whose woods these are. Notice how that automatically makes it a little easier to understand. That means I think I know who owns this. Let's try another one. The castle of Macduff I will surprise. So one strategy to help us with this too is, do we know what the sentence is about? What's the subject? Or can we find the verb? So here, I will surprise. It's all together. I will surprise. What will I surprise? The castle of Macduff. Well, what does that mean? That means I'm going to surprise the people that live there. Let's try another one. But the answer made it none. What is the subject? What is that subject doing? Well, the subject is it, whatever it is. It made. What did it do? It made no answer. What does that mean? It didn't respond or reply. So we can play with the order of the words in order for it to then become a sentence that makes sense. What's the subject? What's that subject doing? So I shall the effect of this good lesson keep becomes I shall keep the effect of this good lesson. So in this one, it's really the second half of the sentence that's inverted, and it means I'm just going to remember. So another strategy is to just slow down. We can look at the subjects and the verbs, but we can also look for punctuation marks to help us out. So here's an excerpt from Macbeth. The first thing I'm going to do is just slow down. I'm going to read it out loud, and I'm going to see where a chunk is for me to really look. The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success, and when he reads thy personal venture in the rebels' fight. Wow, there's a lot there. Oh my gosh, I'm already overwhelmed. So what is a section that I might be able to look at? Well, one thing I could really do is start looking at punctuation marks. So here's a punctuation mark, here's a punctuation mark. Does that mean that I could look at a smaller piece? So what does this piece mean? What is the subject? What is that subject doing? What is the recipient of that action? The king hath happily received. So the king got something and he was happy about it. He's talking to Macbeth the news of your success. So here we go. The king received the news. There's our sentence. So by taking this punctuation mark, colon, semicolon, period, those tend to be end marks of a section, subject, verb, object. So hopefully this helps you and you can use these strategies in your own understanding of the play.